yeah, everything's changed because I now work for myself. I don't have a 9 to 5.
Woohoo!
I have monetized my business within 90 days and
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Good to see you. So today is really about having honest, open conversation, understanding what your journey's been like the past. I know you was on the 90-day program and we've continued to work together a bit after, understanding your experience and what's happened. So talk me through at first, like where you were before we started working together and what was happening for you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I have been just kind of in a rut. I've been on a hamster wheel, on and off, working, using my degree, not using my degree, being happy in a job because it pays well, then not being happy because I'm being micromanaged. And I came across a post that you had posted on social media. And I was like, oh, I'm kind of interested, kind of not interested. What would I do, kind of thing. And I had think it was an option that you could click on, and I clicked on it,
Okay.
not thinking anything other than, oh yeah, I've clicked. And then you had reached out, and we started talking, but I don't think I fully understood what I needed to do, right? So you were asking questions about, where am I? What am I kind of looking for? And I was like, oh, I do printing. And you're great because you always say, okay, let's talk. Let's see if we're aligned. Let's see if we can work together. So there was no real like bullyish push to do anything that I wasn't comfortable with doing.
Yeah.
Uh, but as we spoke on that first call, you very much were able to kind of drill in and find out what my gifts or talents were and maybe what I'm not using already.
Mhm.
And it kind of began from there, really. We then started talking about singing because uh, obviously you knew that I sang. And it came out in that conversation that I had said to you, I have done X, Y, and Z, but I've never thought of it from a business perspective. It's just something that I guess I saw myself as doing in the church setting, rather than looking at it from something that I could monetize.
Yeah.
When we did have that conversation, even though like everything that you said made sense, I was still kind of like, yeah, I feel like she's being very confident, but I don't know about this. So I did go away and I was like mulling over it, chewing over it, as you rightly said I should, but I still wasn't sold. I was still like, no, I feel like coaching, yeah, or, you know, having this business, that business, because that's what we do, right? We compare ourselves. But eventually I was like, actually, what's the harm in giving this a go?
Yeah.
We came back and we had that conversation, and yeah, the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah, no, I love that. Especially like you mentioned, like you had a skill that you were using, but it was like, oh, because I'm using in church, then maybe it's not that much of a significant skill. Maybe I can't do anything with it. And I will obviously unpack a bit more what's happened since. But yeah, okay, cool. That sounds amazing. So at like what made you decide that, okay, I want to explore this and like I want support? Like what was the turning point for you?
Yeah, I think I was just at a place in my life where I was ready for change, and I was looking for, I guess I've been looking for a long time for like real support,
Mhm.
but sometimes people tell you that they can help you, but they don't really know how to help you. Like they've done it for themselves, but that doesn't mean
Yeah.
it make it work for you. But when I jumped onto the call, actually, I think that was what it was. So I then joined the free monetize training that you had
Yeah.
that you had hosted, and as I was listening and hearing and seeing the results that you had with other ladies, I was like, okay, this is different. To actually be able to see tangibly what
Yeah.
you've done while working with others, that was definitely for me like the tipping point.
Yeah. Amazing. And overall, like tell me in a bit more detail what we worked on, what you do, where you are now, and how you found the overall experience over the 90 days and the ongoing support that that we worked together on.
Yeah, thank you again. So basically, I am now a bona fide vocal coach. I have two
Amazing.
offerings at the moment. One is the Empowered Voice program, which is the first one that we worked on.
Yeah,
And it was, yeah, like for me, it was life changing that we had that first meet in the hotel and we put everything down on paper. I was able to leave that session um, with not only a package, pricing, a model to follow,
yeah,
but also to be able to connect with you as and when I needed to
yeah,
ask questions, and also to get the encouragement because after we left and we like I had the package and everything
yeah,
like that, and I started speaking to people and just being able to speak to people who genuinely wanted my help. It was very surreal. Um,
yeah,
and then in that first, I think it was like 24, 48 hours, getting that first like person who was ready to join and paid a deposit was just like
yeah,
and then within the first 72 hours going from like one to three people was very life changing for me because at that moment everything that you had said that you would be able to support me to do you genuinely did,
yeah,
and I reaped the dividends of that very quickly,
yeah,
and to just be confident in knowing that I actually had a skill that people would be willing to invest in was life changing.
yeah.
Going from just being like a church volunteer where I use these skills week in
Mhm.
and week out to now being able to have students who are messaging me at 9 o'clock at night saying, "Oh my God, thank you so much for this."
Yeah,
Like it's very, very, very humbling.
yeah,
Just being a part of the 90-day program, being able to speak to other ladies, hear their testimonies, hear their like wins, and even at times all of us like being able to share our losses and just having you there as a coach to be like, okay, how can we pivot, how can we like change some of the language that we're using and things like that. So yeah, I think for me that's been it's been life changing genuinely.
yeah. No, I love that. And like you say, like it is a journey. There's going to be times when, yeah, like you make £3,500 in 72 hours, and times when it's a challenge, but where you are in the right environment, you have the right support, and you see that you're not alone, it does make it easier for you to quickly move forward. I love that. And your package is how much? Your main package?
My main package is 1999.
Amazing. So from like, I'm not sure if I could do anything with this to like now nearly £2,000 offer.
Yeah.
That is great. So for you, what's been like the biggest like shift for you? So you went from, okay, I do printing, I have this other skill, I help people sing, but I just volunteer at church. Like what's changed since we've been working together?
Yeah, everything's changed because I now work for myself. I don't have a 9 to 5.
Woohoo!
I have monetized my business within 90 days and I am now able to stand on my 2 feet and every month have an income. That means that I don't have to go to a specific place of work anymore.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I am that person who can now take a holiday and not have to consider. I just had a trip for a marriage retreat and I didn't have to think about competing with other people to get the time off. And
Yeah.
yes, that's been a huge blessing just being able to work for myself.
Amazing. I love that. And was there anything that nearly stopped you from moving forward?
Yeah, and I think this is the same with like even when I'm offering my package,
Hmm.
people always are stopped by money.
Mm,
And I think at the initial stage, it's kind of like, oh, not that you don't even have it. Sometimes you just think, do I really want to use it for this? But I'm grateful that I used that initial payment and yeah, just took the plunge. Like I would encourage anybody who has a vision but is looking for somebody to support them to
yeah,
just take that plunge
I
because
love
it's
it.
definitely worth it.
I love that. And like, what specifically would you say to someone who maybe they've they've seen me on social media, they've interacted, like they know they want to get started with their business, but they're like on the fence. Like what would you say to that person?
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it uncomfortable, do it unsure, do it. Because honestly, if I can, if I can go from, earning decent money, but not being happy, knowing that there was more, and even being hesitant because I was like, the investment initially seemed like a vast investment, but actually investing that and then making more than double within 72 hours shows you that the investment is most certainly worthwhile.
I love that. So let me know what is next for you. What can we expect to see?
Yeah, so even out of just working with yourself, Lakeisha, I have put on my first own event. In fact, two events now. I'm working on another event at the moment. I have a new package which I'm offering. And again, that all comes out of the 90 days working with you, being
Yeah.
able to understand how to market, how to price your packages, how to align yourself with the right clients, um, being able to really understand even just things as simple as color and fonts and how social media works and how you can use social media even without thousands of followers. So I would definitely say that I have a lot that's happening, a lot that's in the pipeline, and I would encourage everybody else to jump on as
Yeah.
well.
Amazing. It has been an absolute pleasure, privilege to see your growth, see your journey, and I know there is so much more to come. So I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
You are welcome. You are so welcome.